Hello beta, how are you? Hope you all are fine. Today we will study hexose monophosphate shunt, which is also known as pentose phosphate pathway or Warburg-Dickens pathway after the name of discoverers. Whole of the glucose is not metabolized through glycolysis and TCA cycle. A great amount of glucose is metabolized through this pathway. So सारा ग्लूकोज उसे पाथवे राही ही नहीं मेटाबोलाइज होंदा. काफ़ी ग्लूकोज पर्टिकुलरली लिवर, एडिपोज टिश्यू, लैक्टेटिंग मेमरी ग्लैंड्स, गोनेड्स एंड एरिथ्रोसाइट्स, in these cells or in these tissues, a great part of glucose is metabolized through this pathway. So this pathway also occurs in cytoplasm of these cells. Now this pathway starts from glucose 6-phosphate. Basically it has 5 steps. These are the 5 steps which ultimately produce ribulose 5-phosphate and these two pentose sugar. That is why it is also known as pentose phosphate pathway. So glucose 6-phosphate, which is a 6-carbon sugar, it undergoes dehydrogenation, and this removal of hydrogen occurs at carbon atom 1. So the hydrogen which are produced as a result of dehydrogenation, they are picked up by coenzyme NADP, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, which is reduced to NADPH, and it requires presence of magnesium and calcium ions. The name of enzyme will be, as I have told you earlier also, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, resulting in the production of 6-phosphogluconolactone. Again it is 6 carbon. Second step is hydration, means addition of water. So name of enzyme will be phosphogluconolactone or gluconolactone hydrolase. It results in the production of again 6 carbon sugar, 6-phosphogluconic acid. Third step is again dehydrogenation, removal of hydrogen, but these hydrogens, they are removed from carbon atom 3. So they are again picked up by NADP, which is reduced to NADPH in presence of magnesium or calcium ions. The name of enzyme is phosphogluconate dehydrogenase, resulting in the formation of 3-keto 6-phosphogluconic acid. Again it is 6 carbon. But the fourth step is decarboxylation. Decarboxylation means removal of carbon dioxide, and the name of enzyme is decarboxylase. Here you have to make correction. In PDF it was written as carboxylase. It is decarboxylase. In your book also it needs a correction. So it results as 1 carbon is lost. So 6 carbon sugar changes into 5 carbon sugar, that is ribulose 5-phosphate. Ribulose 5-phosphate, which is 5 carbon sugar, may undergo isomerization, that is rearrangement of atoms, in presence of an enzyme phosphopentose, because it is 5 carbon sugar. Phosphopentose isomerase to form ribose 5-phosphate, or it may undergo epimerization. Epimerization I have already told you that differs to these molecules, they differ at carbon atom 1. In presence of an enzyme phosphopentose epimerase to form xylulose 5-phosphate. So these two 5 carbon sugars which are produced as a result of isomerization or epimerization may combine. So these are all rearrangement reactions. So they may combine. So when they combine, the total number of carbons becomes 10. So this is also 5 carbon sugar, that is also 5 carbon sugar. So these 10 carbon sugars in presence of trans-ketolase, they produce 1 molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and 1 molecule of C2-heptulose 7-phosphate. So number of carbons will remain same. So it was total 10. Here it is total 10. So the name of enzyme over here is trans-ketolase. It requires coenzyme thymine pyrophosphate and magnesium ions. Now glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, which is 3 carbon, may combine with 7 carbon pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate in presence of trans-aldolase enzyme to form erythrose 4-phosphate, which is 4 carbon, and fructose 6-phosphate, which is 6 carbon. So here again keep in mind number of carbons will remain same. 3 plus 7 10, 4 plus 6 10. Erythrose 4-phosphate may combine with 5 carbon xylulose 5-phosphate in presence of an enzyme trans-ketolase to produce 1 molecule of fructose 6-phosphate and 1 molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So number of carbons again remain same. 4 plus 5 9, 6 plus 3 9. Fructose 6-phosphate, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, and they may enter glycolytic pathway because they are the intermediates of glycolysis. So basically hexose monophosphate shunt starts from 6 carbon sugar and it produces 5 carbon sugar. But that 5 carbon sugar may undergo, the 5 carbon sugars may undergo rearrangement reaction to produce other intermediates which can directly enter into glycolytic pathway, and a 7 carbon sugar C2-heptulose 7 phosphate is also produced. So we will continue this process in next video.